Hello, Doctor. Have a good day ahead. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Sharvini Uday Metro number 269521. Today, I'm as a group leader going to present about the group assignment title, which is creating and managing portfolios. This group assignment has been done by Group 2. Let me introduce my group members' name as well. First of all, Shamimi binti Awang, Metro number 272365. Second is Nur Zakira, 273454. Third is Navina Sinha, 269679. Fourth is Nur Alia Atira, 273462. Last but not least, Nur Nabila Najwa, Metro number 273436. Let's have on the next slide for our next presentation. Thank you. Have a great day, Doctor. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Sharvini Udaykumar, Metro number 269521. Today, I'm going to present about my part, which is introduction of the background companies which has been chosen by our group 2. First is RHP Bank, second is Alliance Bank, third is Upseng Industry, fourth is Eon Holding Berhad, last but not least is Paksan Holding Berhad. Let's have a look on the next slide. Let's have a look on the Alliance Bank Berhad. Alliance Bank Berhad is a banking sectors which has been providing banking and also financial service for customers. First of all, consumer banking segment provide banking solution including personal loans, credit cards, and wealth management service. Its business banking segment provide corporate customers with loans, trade finance, as well as a cash management and treasury service with structured solution. Its financial market segment cover foreign exchange as well, capital and money market instrument for banking customer. Last but not least is stockbroking and also corporate advisor segment cover stockbroking activities and corporate advisors. Segment include asset management service and also trustee service. Let's have a look on the RHB Bank. RHB Bank is Malaysia's fourth biggest and most completed and coordinated financial service company. In Malaysia, Brunei, Thailand, and many more overseas countries, the RHB Bank has been worldwide. So, RHB Banking Group offer financial items and service while its asset management and unit trust companies are embraced by RHB Asset Management Sdn Berhad Malaysia. Also, RHB Bank is an Islamic control of foreign asset Berhad. Eon Holding Berhad. Eon Holding Berhad operate a chain of superstores selling a range of goods and primarily in Malaysia. It's operate general merchandise store, supermarket, convenience store, and specialty store and engage in shopping center development and credit card business and service. The company store offer a range of products including foods and other daily necessity, apparel and household goods including bedding and bedroom products and also home appliance as well as sporting goods and cosmetics. Next is Hapseng Company. Hapseng Company, the word Hapseng, which translates to success by teamwork in Chinese, was found in 1958 as a Hapseng Company, a collaboration between the groups of 4 founding directors. All of them are brothers. As one of the leading biscuit manufacturers in Malaysia, Hapseng Biscuit has been branded guarantee for 63 years and has been exported its products to over 40 countries. Finally is Paksan Holding Berhad. Paksan Holding Berhad is formally opened its door on Sungai Wang Plaza in 1987. The Paksan brand department store are the company's primary business, which is operated throughout its affiliates. The company are based in the People's Republic of China, Malaysia, Vietnam, and respectively. Paksan is involved in the food beverage industry as well as the credit service, theme parks, education, childcare facilities, and investment management. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Alitirah binti Samsul Zairi. My meter number is 273462. Today, I want to talk about Alliance Financial Bank Berhad. For the industry analysis, the first one is the growth cycle of industry. Alliance company enhance their SME banking portfolio to help businesses owners grow their businesses by using the solutions such as SME Express Loan and the program lending. The second one is the building on our transformation initiative are our digitization efforts, which helps streamline and automate our process bank wider. They enable the company to offer better, faster, the simpler service. During the financial year, they present more initiative and outcome for the financial year in the management discussion in the annual report. As the revenue, the bank recorded growth of 3.2% to 1.62 billion, which puts Alliance Bank among the 3 tops in the industry. The second one is the customer segment. Alliance Bank have 2 principal subsidiaries, which is Alliance Investment Bank Berhad and the Alliance Islamic Bank Berhad. Is a dynamic and integrated financial service group offering banking and financial. Together with its subsidiaries, is engaged in 5 business segments, which is consumer banking, business banking, financial markets, stockbroking, and corporate devices and others. The second one is it provides access to its investment of customers throughout the country via delivery channels, which include retail branches, public banking centers, Islamic banking centers, businesses centers, investment bank branches, direct marketing office, and unit trust agent office located nationwide, as well as mobile and internet banking. Next, fundamental analysis. The first one is a liquidity ratio is a computation that is used to measure a company's ability to pay short-term debits. Two current ratio that can measure under this liquidity ratio is current ratio and quick ratio. From the graph, we can see the alien banks are both liquidity is increased. For the current ratio, it's slightly increased from 2018 to 2019, but for 2020, it's increasing about 0.23 times from 2019. So we can assume the alien bank don't have any problem for the insufficient cash or other short-term asset to be converted in order to meet their obligation. The second one is the quick ratio, is to measure the liquidity of the firm by measuring how well its current asset could cover the current liability. Quick ratio is also known as acid test ratio. From the bar chart, we can see the highest ratio is in 2020 with 1.42. In 2019, the ratio is 1.26, and the lowest year is 2018 with the ratio 1.21. This shows that the company have enough of liquid asset. The second one is the efficiency ratio, is to evaluate the efficiency of the company and the management of the asset, which indicates the performance of the company. Alice Bank efficiency in handling the inventory in 2019 was the highest inventory turnover with 3.88, but it decreased slightly in 2019 with the 3.58. For 2020, the inventory turnover increased to 3.69. The second ratio is the receivable turnover, which used to measure how times company convert its receivable into cash each year. For the asset turnover ratio is to measure how the sales can generate by every single asset. It can be concluded that the company is efficient in managing the asset general sales. Lastly, average collection period indicate how efficiently the company is in collecting the credit sales. Thus, the fastest mean good management and the lower days. In the leverage ratio, we will be able to see how the debts of the firm are being utilized to generate profit. The first one is the debt ratio, indicates the relationship between total liabilities and the total asset, and it shows how much the asset contribute to the liability. There is the highest debt ratio in 2020 with the 0.9018, and be followed in 2018 with 0.8988. The lowest debt ratio is 0.8986 in 2016. It shows that the alliance bank has more debt that can be asset can support in 2020. For the debt to equity ratio, alliance bank had the stable ratio of 4 each year. In 2020, it was the highest debt to equity ratio with 9.18. In 2019, it decreasing to 8.86, and for 2018, the debt is equity the 8.88. For the technical analysis, MACD, moving average conversion divergence, indicates changes in the strength direction, momentum, and duration of the trend in the stock price. The second one is the relative strength index, RSI, is used to measure the velocity and the magnitude of the directional price movement. RSI is typically used on 14 days time frame, measured on the scale from 0 to 100 with the high and the low level marked at the 70 and 30 respectively. When RSI reach about 70 is considered as overbought, and the below 30 is considered as oversold. The third one is the moving average, are used by investor and trader to track and identify trends by smoothing normal day-by-day price fluctuating. From the candlestick chart above, we can take the moving average in short term, which is in 20 days, meanwhile long term for 50 days moving average. We started to trade our capital to buy the stock in 26 April 2020 until 25 May 2020 in working day. The fourth one is a support level, is a price level where the price tend to find support as it is going to fall. This means that the price is more likely to bounce off this level rather than break through it.
Hello sir, have a good day. I'm Namina here, one of the group member of Group 2. My metric number is 269679. Today I'm going to be available a straightforward video presentation dependent on my part, which is RHP Bank. I chose RHP Bank as my company for this assignment purpose. Alright, let's begin for first look on what is about the industry analysis. Industry analysis is a strategy of market assessment which is utilized by companies and analysts to think about an industry's competitive dynamics. It permits them to comprehend what is happening in the market, for example, demand-supply figures, the level of contention inside the business, and so on. Competitive position is known as one of the criteria under industry analysis. Competitive position is the word given in a market by a company, item, or services contrasted with offers. With different offers. It is additionally displayed on a basic chart which is known as the competitive position map that maps the arrangements for any two standards that clients esteem against the opposition. The RHP banking group has figured out how to hold its part as quite possibly the most innovative suppliers of financial services in an inexorably competitive market environment in Malaysia, yet additionally in the Asian area. This is clear from the numerous distinctions and awards throughout the long term that we have. The second criteria under industry analysis is market profile. RHB Bank is an investment bank and also can call as an investment company which is situated in Malaysia that fundamentally offers commercial and corporate banking services. Banking, loaning, insurance, and so on are important for its scope of services. Starting on 31st December 2009, the RHB network has developed to remember an organization of roughly 241 branches for Malaysia, 7 branches in Singapore, 1 in Brunei and Thailand, and 1 in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Hence, as for the above explanation and the past audit, RHB is successfully working. However, in the future, further work and responsibility are to be put on online banking. Let's have a short look on what is about the fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis is a strategy for ascertaining the natural worth of security by breaking down economic and financial variables that are connected. Fundamental analysis examines all that can influence the significance of insurance from microeconomic factors, for example, the condition of the company and economy, and also states of the area to microeconomic factors like the adequacy of the administration of the business. The endpoint is to show up at a number that can be measured by an investor with the genuine cost of security to check whether the security is underestimated or exaggerated. There are some calculations formula under fundamental analysis. So we can identify liquidity ratio is one of the calculation formula under fundamental analysis. And then under liquidity ratio also we can identify 2 category, which means current ratio and quick ratio. So in this current slide, we can see that both of the calculations formula. First, let's see the chart of current ratio. Based on the chart, it shows an increased ratio from 0.25 to 0.27, which is occur in 2018 to 2020. In 2020, it will have the highest ratio with 0.27. Overall, most of the current ratios are below 1.0. So it indicates that RHB is capable of paying their short-term obligations. The higher the ratio, the more capable the company. In conclusion, RHB Bank has a good financial health. And then the second calculation is quick ratio. The quick ratio is to measure the liquidity of a firm by measuring how well its current assets will cover its current liabilities. The quick ratio is also known as the asset test ratio, which only includes assets that can be converted into cash within 19 days or less. A higher quick ratio means a more liquid company's current position. From the chart, from the bar chart, we can see the highest ratio in 2020 with 1.25. In 2019, the ratio is 1.24, and the lowest year is 2018, which is with the ratio of 1.21. This shows that the company has enough liquid assets. The bar chart in this slide is showing us about the efficiency ratio. Under efficiency ratio, there are got 4 types of calculation, which means asset turnover ratio, inventory turnover, receivable turnover, and average collection period. As we can see, the turnover ratio for RHB Bank for the 3 years respectively is between the range of not more than 0.020. In 2018, each ringgit of asset generated RM 0.018 of revenue. While in 2019, it shows a slight increase from 0.018 to 0.019 with one difference in turnover ratios. Thus, 2019 will record the higher ratio with each ringgit of asset generating RM 0.019. Hence, the ratio decreased from 0.019 to 0.015 in 2020. It shows the company still manages to remain efficient for the company. And then we see about the inventory turnover. Inventory turnover indicates how fast the stock of inventory is cleared. RHB Bank efficiency in handling the inventory in 2018 was the highest inventory turnover with 3.98, but it decreased slightly in 2019 when 3.76. For 2020, the inventory turnover again decreased to 3.53. And then let's move to the receivable turnover. The receivable turnover, which is used to measure how many times a company converts its receivables into cash each year. The company's ratio increased from 21.96, 31.48, and 39.77 for the year 2018, 2019, and 2020 respectively. Lastly, the average collection period. The average collection period indicated how efficient the company is in collecting the credit sales. The fastest means good management and lower the days. The lowest average collection period is in 2020 for 25 days compared to 2019 with 32 days, and the lowest is 45 days in 2018. Let's move to leverage ratio. In this bar chart, we can identify 2 types of ratio, which means debt ratio and debt equity ratio. Based on the graph, debt ratio for the 3 years remain the same, which is 0.90. This indicates that the RHB Bank ratio is greater than 0.5, and most of the company's assets are financed through debt. The higher the ratio, the greater the risk associated with the firm's operation. And then the debt to equity ratio for RHB Bank shows fluctuated over 3 years, reached 9.41 in 2018
and slightly decreased to 8.99 in 2019. Meanwhile, again rise to 9.03 in 2020. However, we can see the ratio is quite high, which is more than 8.0 for the 3 years respectively. This is good because it shows that a company can easily fulfill its debt obligations, which means through cash flow, and uses leverage to increase returns on equity. The last calculation part under fundamental analysis is market ratio. There are also got various type of calculations under market ratio, which is stand by earning per share, price earning ratio, dividend payout ratio, and dividend yield. So via this bar chart, we can see all of the calculation ratios. Let's we first have a look on the earning per share bar chart. Earning per share for RHP Bank show how much a company's profit outstanding share of stock is. On the chart above, it's revealing the number of earning per share for 3 years previous, which means 2018 to 2020. The results indicate the earning per share within 2018 to 2019 consistently rose, but for the year 2020, the number of earning per share decreased drastically. When comparing these 3 years, earning per share in the year of 2020 presented as a lower earning per share, which is RM 0.507 per share. In 2018, earning per share was RM 0.575, while for 2019, recorded as RM 0.619. Highest earning per share was in the year 2019, which had a better amount of profitability of the honest investment. Increasing trend of earning per share from 2018 to 2019 make investors invest in companies based on outperformance of earning per share. And then the second chart of dividend payout ratio above, we can see the amount of ratio started from the year 2018, which is 35.65%. It can be considered as a good ratio for the return as dividend to stockholders, which may encourage the present investors to put their trust in a company to invest. In the year of 2017, there is a difference of 14.43 rising up compared to previous year. By this means, a company reveals their profits so that they could pay more the dividend as well as might build up the investors' confidence being high. Unfortunately, in the year 2020, the result shows us there is 34.80% decrease drastically with 50.28 dissimilarity. And the graph displays that three upward and downward trends for price earning ratio with this 3 year from 2018 until 2020. The increasing ratio was starting from the lowest ratio by 9.2 in the year of 2018 to 2020. The highest ratio will be considered as the growth stocks. The difference between 2019 to 2020 was 1.71%. In 2020, a price earning ratio was 11.05. It shows a rising back, which indicates a positive future performance, and investors have higher expectations for future earnings growth and are willing to pay more for that. And then the last bar chart is dividend yield. The dividend yield is showing a stock annual dividend payments to shareholders of the stock's current price. The company experienced significant changes over the 3 years, which means 2018, 2019, 2020, where the ratio of dividend yield fluctuated with 3.88%, 5.36%, and 3.15%. This slide showing us the technical chart of RHP Bank. Via this technical chart, we can see the three of the technical analyses, which is stand by moving average, MACD, and relative strength index. Throughout the chart, we can identify that the moving average line is as a blue line and the signal line is as a red line. So based on the chart, the moving average line, which is blue line, which falls below the signal line, which means red line, means that it was a bearish signal. It indicates the time for investors to sell their stocks. So this is also indicates that the trend is making its momentum in the same direction, which is under the red line and is going upward after 11th May. When the both line across each other, so it indicates the bullish signal and it signals for investors to buy more stock. It can be seen that it is quite difficult to make a decision on buying stock since the price keeps increasing all over the time, because we know that the stock price is unexpected when it goes bearish or decreases. So along the way, we decide to continue to buy when the price is lower and sell the day tomorrow that is expected to go up. And then based on the RSI graph above, which means relative strength index graph, we can see the stock is maintaining about 40 from 14th May until 25th May, and it is going to oversold. Oversold conditions can last for a long time. The traders need to wait for the price to base out and start to move higher before buying. Oversold is mistakenly viewed by some traders as a buy signal. If stock or other asset is a good buy, it can remain oversold for a long time before the prices starts to move higher. So traders watch for oversold readings, but then wait for the price to start moving up before buying based on the oversold signal. The candlestick chart is describing us about the MACD technical analysis. So from the candlestick chart above, we can take the moving average convergence divergence in short-term time, which is in 20 days. Meanwhile, long-term time 50 days moving average. So we start to trade our capital to buy this stock on 26th April 2021 until 25th May 2021, or days in the working day. As we can see from this graph, the red bar means that the stock price is decreasing and the short-term signal line is consistently below the long-term line, and we consider it a bullish signal. So it shows the price is a positive sign that the stock price will start to increase.
So next company is Aeon Carbohydrate. I'm going to explain on the growth cycle of industry. So Aeon Carbohydrate has 25 outlets, including 21 general merchandise stores, 17 shopping centers, and 4 mass value supermarkets. Aeon Carbohydrate was formerly known as the Jaya Jasco Stores, the Berhad, and changed its name to Aeon Carbohydrate in September 2004. Well, the company was founded in 1984 and is headquartered in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So one of the largest mall operators in Malaysia with a 10% market share is diving headfirst into digital transformation in a bid to cater to changing consumer needs, which have been dramatically accelerated by the COVID-19 pandemic. Next is based on competitors. Aeon company got 3 different competitors from 3 different countries, which is the first one is in Canada, which is TJX Cost, and then the second one is based on United States for Kohl's company, and the last one is based on South Korea, which is Lotte Shopping. So all of this type of company is focusing on the innovation. So the innovation in consumer electronics, household products, and targeting the urban middle and upper class household generation is the opportunity for growth in sale of the products in Japan. So Japanese companies find it hard to compete against lower price rivals from South Korea and China. So worldwide presence is very less compared to global leaders. And then also Chinese firms also outcompete Japanese firms who are starting to approach Japanese quality at a much lower price. So the fundamental analysis for Aeon company, it shows the increasing number from 2017 to 2019, where the numbers for 2017 for the current ratio is 0.83, and then it goes up to 0.96, which is in 2019. So the numbers are increasing. And then for the quick ratio, it shows the 0.07 back in 2018 and 2017, but it keep increasing in 2019, which indicates 0.57. So for the profitability ratio of Aeon company, it shows the decreasing number for the net profit margin and return on asset. So for the net profit margin, it shows in 2017 it shows 2.57%, and then it goes down to 2.41 in 2018 and 2019. And then for the return on asset, it shows the decreasing number also, which is 2.34% in 2017, and then it goes down to 1.67% in 2019. But for the return on equity, it shows the decreasing, and then it goes up in 2019, where 5.35% in 2017, and then it goes down to 5.20 in 2018, and then it goes up to 6.45% in 2019. The efficiency ratio, it shows the inventory turnover, the decreasing number also, which is from 8.80 in 2017, and then it decreased in 2019, which is 8.00, and which also average collection period, where we can see the chart is going down from 2017, which is 21.00 to 15.00 back in 2019. And then for the asset turnover also shows the decreasing numbers, which is from 2017 is 0.93, and then back in 2019 is 0.69. But for the receivable turnover, it shows the numbers is increasing from 2017 11.00, and then 2019 it shows the 16.00. So it means the Aeon company make the receivable turnover, and then they keep paying the money to the company in a long time. For the last one in fundamental analysis is leverage ratio, which is we can see from the ratio of Aeon company, it's keep increasing from 2017, which is 0.55, to 2019 0.74. And then for the debt to equity, it also shows the increasing numbers, where we can see in 2017 it is 1.21, and then back in 2019 it indicates 2.86. Can be seen at the first side is MACD, which is based on the chart. On 22 May, there is an intersection between the fast moving average and the slower moving average on the way up. This indicates that the market will be bullish, where it is a good indication time to buy the stock price. It is appreciating from the period onward since we start trading on 26 April. So for the RSI, we can see from the chart on the 23 May onwards, which indicates that the market is bearish or the price of the stock will falling. So we start on the 26 April until 25th May, we just can keep buying stock on the normal level from 26 April till 22 May. So for the moving average, as you can see from the chart, the price for the Aeon Co on 26 April showed a signal of bearish as the angle is slightly downward, which means that the price is low and it will be the best price to buy the stocks. And it started to drop down till 25th May with a lower market price. And for the last one is support and resistance. So we can see the candlestick based on our trading date. The price is shown a bearish signal, so it tends to resistance level and it is going downward. So this time it is for the investor. It is a good time for the investor to sell when the stock breakthrough line of resistance or ceiling on 20th May onwards. Over the time, and maybe it can be break through the floor price as well.
Industry analysis. For their market profile, majority of Hub Seng consumer is in Southeast Asia and make Malaysia as the largest biscuit and cracker producer. By their performance, they has earned the Gold and Grand Gold Award from Monday selection. And in 2016, at Monday selection in Belgium, Hub Seng has received Gold Quality Award. Fundamental analysis. In the liquidity ratio, the current ratio of Hub Seng Industry Berhad decreased from 1.82 to 1.42 in 2018 to 2020. The same goes for the quick ratio, where they are also decreased from 2.18 to 1.8. In profitability ratio, Hub Seng net profit margin of 2018, 2019, and 2020 has decreased every year from 30.4 to 12.6 and then 12.3. Meanwhile, in ROA, in 2019, Hub Seng generated more than 4 billion as net income, when the total asset was around 236 million, and make the ROA 17.4. Then in 2019, the ROA of Hub Seng decreased to 16.962. After that, rise again and reach 17.66 in 2020. There is almost consistent from 2018 to 2019, in where ROE in 2018 is 26.3 and increased a little bit by 0.01 in 2019 at 26.4. Then it showed that the company has a great income in 2020 and helped in rising the ROE to 28.9. For the efficiency ratio, the bar chart above shows that Hub Seng is effectively handling its inventory as it sold more than 40 times its annual inventory. The company receivable turnover ratio decreased from 8.94 in 2018 to 8.55 in 2019 and increased to 10.31 in 2020, which means Hub Seng is getting more efficient in 2020 than before, as Hub Seng continuously increased his turnover ratio year by year. For example, from 1.30 in 2018, followed by 1.32 in 2019 and 1.43 in 2020. Hub Seng also need 11 days in both year in 2018 and in 2019 to collect the credit sale, and 9 days in 2020, which means it's much lower. For the leverage ratio, there is a slight change in the debt ratio over the 3 years in 2018, 2019, and 2020, which the ratio is 0.39, 0.37, and 0.39 respectively. The company debt to equity ratio has showed an increase every year from 0.51 in 2018, 0.59 in 2019, and 0.64 in 2020. The higher the debt to equity means that the company has been aggressively in financing its growth with debt. In technical analysis, from the chart, we can see how the two exponential moving average applied to the price chart correspond to the moving average convergence divergence. It's a blue line crossing below its baseline at 20 May 2021. The RSI is represented by an oscillator, a line graph that travels between two extremes with a range of 0 to 100. When the RSI is above 70%, an asset is deemed overbought, and when it's below 30%, it's deemed oversold. From the chart, the highest RSI is 61% on 10 May 2021, and the lowest RSI is 45% on 20 May 2021. It shows that Hub Seng Industry Berhad control their stock or other assets very well. From the chart, the longest term moving average happened twice, which is when 21st April until 27 April, and 80 May until 21st May 2021.
So for industrial analysis, for the growth circle, Pakson currently operates 42 department stores in Malaysia out of 61, and Pakson Corporate Sdn Bhd will close 2 of it in its department store in this year, considering a third. Pakson has been failing since well before the offset of the pandemic. Retail revenue fell 17.7% and 44.5% in July, September, and also October, December. Other than that, Pakson witnessed sales fall 25% and 46% in the same year. For the competitor, Pakson primary rival include Isetan and Carrefour, and for the secondary competitor includes Mydane, Jasco, and Tesco. For fundamental analysis, as you can see in the current ratio, from 2018, it decreased in 2020. And for the quick ratio, for 2018, it decreased, and then in 2019, it increased 0.01% in 2020. For profitability ratio, as you can see, the net profit margin from 2018 to 2020 it increased, but the value is still negative. And for ROA, it also increased, and for ROE in 2018 it increased in 2019 but decreased in 2020 with negative 27%. For profitability ratio, it shows that for the past 3 years it's in negative value. For efficiency ratio, as you can see in 2018 to 2020, the value is up and down value since it increased and decreased from year to year. For inventory turnover ratio, it increased from 2018 to 2019 but decreased to 2020. For the receivable turnover, it also decreased in 2019, but in 2020 it increased to 25.67. And for asset turnover, we can say that it is stable value since for the past 3 years it's below than 0. And for average collection period, you can see in 2019 it has the most value with 16 days. For leverage ratio, as you can see in this slide, from 2018 to 2019, for the debt to equity, it increased, and for the debt ratio, it also increased from 2018 to 2020. And lastly, for the technical analysis, as you can see in the MACD chart, you can see the blue line fell below the signal line, which is the red line, and it was signaling that it was a bearish signal, showing that it may be the right time for the investor to sell their shares. For the RSI, Relative Strength Index, when the RSI failed to hit 70 on several price swing in a row during uptrend, but subsequently fall below 30, the trend has weakened and may be reverting down. The bullish momentum is building. For the moving average, you can see the red bar indicate that the stock price is decreasing. As we can see in the chart, we can interpret this as a negative sign, seeing the short-term signal line is continuously above the long-term line. And for the support resistance, when we look at the candlestick for our trading day, we can see that the price is showing a bearish signal, indicate that the price is approaching the support level and it heading lower. It is a way for investors to sell stock until they burst through the line of resistance. That's all for Pakson Holding Berhad. Thank you very much.
Lastly, I'm here again, Sharmini Udaykumar, metro number 269521. I'm going to present about the conclusion of the financing portfolios of our group assignment. As a conclusion, these 5 active companies, which is Alliance Bank, RHB Bank, Eon Company, Upsang Industry, and also Pakson Holding, which are listed as the active stocks in the Bursa Malaysia, totally have different performance and not related to any other. With the initial investment of 100,000, the ROI that we get from the investing in the stock market is 15.84%, and also rate of the return is 1.32. Based on the overall portfolio management, we have successfully achieved our objective. That's all from me. Thank you.